Hello, I'm Samuel Green.
And I'm Matthew Payne.
And we want to tell you about a new video series that we're starting.
What we're going to be doing is reading this book, Jesus Interrupted by Bart Ehrman. And we're going to be reading through it line by line and claim by claim and chapter by chapter and answering the claims he makes in the course of the book.
Now, why Bart Ehrman? Well, because if you know anything about Bart Ehrman, he's very famous for being an authority on Christianity. So the secular media, the new atheists like Richard Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens refer to him in their books. And I've got many Muslim friends who are often directing Bart Ehrman's arguments towards me. And so he's a real influencer. He's a real influencer. People see him as an authority and they assume that he knows lots about Christianity, can say these things. He's written a large number of books. He has podcasts, videos, he's highly influential. He's highly influential. In fact, for many people, he feeds their conspiracy theories about Christianity. But he's an influencer. He's a modern day influencer.
Yeah. And so Bart Ehrman's well known for making big dramatic claims about the Bible, very, very significant claims. We'll just give you an example so you know the kind of thing we mean. So this is from the book we'll be reading from page 5, and this is the sort of thing that we think really needs to be responded to. The Bible is filled with discrepancies, many of them irreconcilable contradictions. Moses did not write the Pentateuch, the first 5 books of the Old Testament, and Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John did not write the Gospels. There are other books that did not make it into the Bible that at one time or another were considered canonical, other Gospels, for example, and so on. The Exodus probably did not happen as described in the Old Testament. The conquest of the Promised Land is probably based on a legend. The Gospels are at odds on numerous points and contain non-historical material. And he goes on in that vein quite a bit. He makes lots of claims of that kind of magnitude and significance. And what's at stake here is just historical Christianity and whether you can trust the Bible. So there's an awful lot at stake with these kind of claims, and he gets into it in the book, and we want to go through it and respond to each claim he makes one by one. Why this book? Well, and why this approach? There's actually a lot of books out there responding to Bart Ehrman already. There's videos on the internet, there's websites on the internet we can point you to that are very helpful, and we'll put some of those in the description box below. But I don't think there's anything out there that just goes through one of Ehrman's works and responds claim by claim. So that's what we like to set out to do here.
Yeah, we're just going to go through the book and look at each point that it brings up and answer it. Yeah. So why this particular book? As I said, he's written many books. Why this particular one? Well, because it's one of his more famous books, and many of the arguments that appear in this book are his popular ones that are widely used. Yeah. And so that's why we're going to use this book. That's why we're going to go through and read this book. What we're planning to do, though, is about every 10th episode, have a special episode where we might look at something from another book that he's written, or a famous video that he's made, or even something about the Bible that we just need to know. Some academic thing we need to know about the Bible to better understand Bart Ehrman's arguments, a bit more of a historical fact, some more background that we need to know. So about every 10th episode, we're going to have something a little different.
So who should watch these videos? Perhaps you're somebody who has read something by Bart Ehrman, or just the kind of thing that he's putting out there. You might found that quite persuasive or quite challenging. Perhaps you've got family or friends who have read things by Ehrman and they've been persuaded or at least challenged by some of those things. I reckon there's probably some people watching who actively promote some of the things that Ehrman does and just repeat it and try and disprove Christianity themselves and are just wholly on board with Ehrman's perspective. So I think all of those people and many more would be very interested in what we're doing, because there's a great deal at stake. It's the truth of God's promises in the Bible that are at stake, and we believe them, and we think others should too. So that's why we want to engage with this book, and we think if you follow along with this, you'll find it really helpful.
Yeah, so subscribe to the channel, click the notification button. We plan to release one video per week. And so we invite you to come along with us as we read this book and consider what he said and actually examine what he's said. So we'll see you then.